Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome back to our Pyanodons playthrough. So, in between our last episodes, I've done a couple things. I ran around and added some more miners to the coal patch and the iron patch and a few other places. What else did I do? I feel like I fixed a couple things. I don't remember exactly what. And I got this setup ready, because we're going to be moving towards Korlexs. And I think that's pretty much all I did. Added some more titanium and lead miners. I think I fixed a couple things around the base, but I wanted to take a quick detour because I did run out of oil as well, and I had to get a new oil mine going over here. And I wanted to look into oil sand as a means to make oil, and so I kind of went crazy in Helmod trying to figure out what's the best way to use oil sands. And I'm not sure if this is the absolute best way, but it definitely works. And it is self-sustaining. So it costs 0 power after I use the benzene and the biomass to actually generate power from steam. I believe I could maybe use combustion mixture, but at the tech level that I'm at, combustion mixture is actually worse than regular steam power when it comes to basic stuff, just because the combustion turbines only have a 42% efficiency. So I'm going to actually do this build real quick. We're going to take a little bit of a detour into oil sand land and just kind of see what it looks like to build a self-sustaining oil sand to crude oil generation. So kind of excited. We do need 5 of these, actually. So we will offset just a little bit here. We'll do this. And so you can see from an input of 4.3 oil sand, we get 100 crude oil. So that's a ratio of about 25, maybe 23-ish. And we've got 5.3 oil sand, so this will generate about 100 million oil over the course of the game. So I anticipate essentially never running out, which is a good thing. So yeah, let's get this set up, and we'll see if it works properly. I'm anticipating it will, but you never know with these things. And we're going to have the power network kind of self-sustaining, and I'll just attach it to exterior power at the beginning when it starts running. So, step 1 is crush oil sand. So we'll put 3 jaw crushers. And those will crush oil sand into stone. Each of those needs 2 per second. So we'll do fast inserters and outputs a total of 1 resource per second. So we can put all that on a belt. We'll have a filter for stone going left. And I may need to burn that. I hate wasting stone, but we're so far away from the base, it doesn't feel like there's anything useful that I can do with it. I guess I could crush it down into sand. Is there anything useful I can do with sand? I mean, I can wash sand into more tailings. Other than that, not really. So yeah, we'll just leave that for now. Okay, and then we need our crushed oil sand plus steam. So I'll need some hefty steam generation. And we're going to do that with a combination of regular burners and oil burners. And that's actually how we're going to generate a lot of our power. So let me set up the oil burners. And we'll probably set them up down here. Maybe we'll go sideways. We'll do this. Yeah, okay. So let's see. I've got 10 extra benzene per second, which should be able to be 10 megawatts, which is about 6 oil burners. And then I need 200 steam per second coming from 6 benzene. So we have a total of 16 benzene divided by 1.8 megawatts. So we need 9 oil burners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And altogether, those can produce quite a bit of whatever it's called, steam. 540 per second, so we need 2 pump jacks. Put those right there. And then we'll hook up the steam. Let's see, how many squares? I saved 2 squares. Yeah, I think that's worth it. I believe, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I save UPS if I use underground belts. Or, I mean, underground pipes like this. Because there's less pipes kind of updating the fluid dynamics. And considering how long this playthrough is going to end up being, I want to do everything I can to save UPS. Okay, so steam is going to go into these hydro classifiers along with water. And I need 3 of them, so we'll start just a little bit to the left. 2, 3. Connect up water. I'll probably need more water. Oh yeah, I didn't account for all the steam power, so we'll see if that's enough. Okay, so hook up steam right here. This will be a hookup for the fuel that I power them with. And we'll just put another pump jack here. Okay. Then we need some inserters. That should do it. Throw a burner here for the stone. And then we'll need some biomass to come by. All right, we've got that going. We've got steam. Okay, and then we need 2... Wow, these are huge. 2 centrifugal pans. And those need pressurized air. Up to how much? 72. So that's, I think, 3, 4 of these. Each one makes 20. Yep, so that's 80. And then we need our oil sand slurry. Going in. Oh, and we also need crushed oil sand for that. So the crushed oil sand will come up, around, and be available. 0.73 regular inserters should be able to handle just fine. Okay, and all of that produces bitumen froth. So bitumen froth gets mixed with naphtha in these buildings. Whatever these are, flotation cells, I believe. Yeah, flotation cells, along with our pressurized air. Okay, we'll get these placed down. Connect up the pressurized air. Looks like I only need 2 for that. 36 per second. And then naphtha, we'll talk about that in a second, but that's going to come from crude oil. So I will actually need to jumpstart this with crude oil. So it's a good thing that we have crude oil flowing by, but once we jumpstart it with crude oil, it's self-sustaining, so it will keep running on its own. And then tailings will go out to the side, and we'll process that into power stuff. Okay. So then that's these three guys to make bitumen. And also tailings. Am I seeing that right? Tailings come out of both? Tailings. Yeah, okay. So we'll hook the tailings up right here. And then bitumen will get mixed with hydrogen, which we need 3 electrolyzers for. And as you can tell, I'm not really trying at all to make this a small build. I don't really care a whole lot. I'm building it out in the middle of nowhere. I'm kind of just doing it for fun as a little intermediate, or what's it called? Intermission. Between all the alien life complexity, I kind of want to do something a little more normal for a second, just do a power build. All right, hook up all these to the same power grid. Make sure these guys are hooked up to the power grid. Water is hooked up. We'll see if I have enough. Wait, that's not water. That's for fuel. Water comes from here. Okay, so water, hydrogen, then we have come over. And that gets put into 3 of these guys, which are called heavy oil refineries. Okay, so I'll have bitumen come in the bottom. Hydrogen come in the top. Our big electric poles are kind of getting in the way, but that's okay. Okay, so we'll hook up the hydrogen. Thank goodness for these long niobium pipes. I gotta say, life has become a lot easier since we unlocked them. Okay, so hydrogen will come out. Bitumen, hook that up. Hook up power here. And then oil. We will attach around the edge here. Okay. So that's the crude oil. And then we need to process that crude oil in 2 multi-purpose crackers along with steam. So steam is coming up from the side here. Where is the steam line? Okay, we need to move 1 square forward. There we go. Okay, so we've got steam. Crude oil will come in from the top. From over here. Perfect. Okay, so crude oil comes in, gets processed into heavy oil, and then heavy oil gets processed into naphtha in olefin plants. And since the ratio is 1.1 of each, I'm okay hooking them up directly rather than, like, there's really no need to connect those outputs. Okay, so then we've done all those things. So then naphtha needs to head back up and over to this underground. Okay, perfect. Naphtha is taken care of. Gotta get these buildings powered. All right, and then what else do we need? Okay, so the last 2 things we need are dealing with our tailings, which I believe is this line. So then the tailings need to be processed along with, or no, they have water as an output, which I will just put into a sinkhole because I don't really feel like connecting it to everything. And then we need 2 destructive distillation columns, making benzene and aromatics. And then aromatics can be turned into biomass using the compost plants. And benzene will be the fuel that I use for my oil burners. So that's right here. Actually, yeah, those just reach already. Okay, so then we'll have plenty of benzene there. And then we need compost plants. I don't know if I'll need all 5 of them, because this produces, I'll start with 2. This produces 10 excess benzene, which is 10 megajoules of power in the oil burners. And we only need 2.4 extra. So I really only need 2.4 biomass, because each biomass is 1 megajoule as well. And it looks like 1 compost plant makes about a little bit less than 2. So 2 compost plants should be enough, combined with the aromatics. And then, of course, that just happens to line up with my oil pipeline from the west. Okay, so power down to there. Power to these. We need our biomass. And then I probably should... Do we have enough space here? I do. Okay. So we need enough for 10 megajoules. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I just realized something. These need to be hooked up to an overflow. So we'll have a central tank here. And then we'll have an overflow pipe, because I want to make sure steam goes to the recipes first. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll just do that. Oh no. Ran out of power poles. That's not good. Okay. So then biomass is the last thing we kind of need to figure out. So then biomass will go up. We need it to come over to this burner. That should do it. And then we need an overflow of aromatics going to a sinkhole. Because we will probably have extra aromatics over time. And then we'll have priority left. And then to the right will be... How many boilers will I need? Just 2, I think. I think 2 is enough because that will give me enough for 3.6 megawatts on top of the 10 that I'm already generating from benzene. And then we'll hook that up to the water. Let's see. Let the water come over here and down. All right. Is everything connected? I guess we'll see. This feels like a little bit of a mess. And then the biomass power. Let's see. Will this all work correctly? The biomass power we want to use first, Because if I have too much benzene, this will just back up. And that's fine, I think. We probably need some sort of overflow prevention on tailings then. So then we need an overflow here. And another sinkhole. So just in case we end up with too many tailings, then we can overflow those. But yeah, so this will always get used first because that's an overflow valve, and we'll follow it up with a top-up valve. So it'll only essentially output if this is bigger than 80% and this is less than 80%. Okay, so I think everything's hooked up. And all we need to do is connect it to power and give a little bit of oil to our naphtha connection. And the original oil connection just happens to be running through right here. So that's perfectly convenient. We'll just let those pipes fill up real quick. And then we'll cut that connection off. So that should be enough to get things started. Alright, so let's hook this up to power and see if it runs. This is my favorite thing to do, is just like make an entire build and then power it up and see what happens. But we should be able to take it off of power once it runs for a minute or two. Alright, so oil sand is being mined. I guess we never hooked up these guys to power. And we're crushing that. And then steam is not being made. That's the other problem. Oh, and this needs steam to start up too. Okay. So we're just gonna hook these up for a second so that we get some initial steam going to run the olefin plants. Hopefully that's enough. And then that gets us some naphtha. Okay, we needed a little bit more steam. To run these oil sand slurry machines. Where's all the steam going? Guess it's getting eaten up by that. Okay, we'll delete that for half a second. Is that working? Yeah, there we go. Okay. And now that's running, bitumen froth. Okay, so I can hook that back up. And then hopefully I can delete that connection. We'll see if everything runs. So now this guy's running to make bitumen. These guys are running to make crude oil. Crude oil is getting added in to make more naphtha again. Here we go, we've got benzene being made. Oh, I never hooked up the benzene, did I? No, I did. It's here. Going down. Yeah, and making steam. Perfect. So we should be able to take the coke out now. I should probably power these up. Shouldn't I? And then... looks like we have a steam shortage again. Okay, that seems to be the name of the game at the start here. So we'll put in a little bit more coke to make steam. We just need a little bit more oil sand slurry. We'll let it go one more craft. Okay. I think that should be enough. Because then these should run more. This should give us more tailings. And tailings are what we really need to make more steam. Yeah, it's the benzene that should make us enough steam to keep going. So I think we've finally started the positive feedback loop. Sure looks like we got plenty of biomass. That's great. Alright, yeah, now we've got benzene to the third oil burner. Sweet. Definitely still a steam issue, but I think that's getting better slowly. Yeah, benzene is pretty great. I mean, you can get a lot of power from tailings if you just burn the benzene in an oil burner. Because, I mean, let's kind of walk through it. So you've got 250 tailings, which gets you 150 cold water slurry. And then 150 cold water slurry will get you 75 benzene, which is 75 megajoules worth of liquid fuel. So each tailings, if you just turn it into benzene, is essentially a third of a megajoule, which is kind of crazy considering how prevalent tailings is. Alright, so most of these are running. Well, at least half of them are running now, which is good. Looks like our steam is finally kind of filling up. All three of these buildings are running now. Awesome. Both of these are running. All three of these are running. Sweet. And we've got crude oil. So my main crude oil line is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big tank, one of the big chonkers, and we're going to top up from the... we're going to use this up first because it's probably going to use a lot less UPS to just pump that. And I mean, gosh, there's so much drilling waste right here. This was kind of more of a pet project for fun than actually out of necessity. Because we could easily get like 40 million. But we will top this up. Wait, I'm doing this wrong. Sorry, we will top this one up from the output here. And this should probably have an overflow, because it needs to give naphtha first. Different fluids. Oh, that's bitumen. I'm being stupid. So this needs to be connected to oil here. So then... yeah, so when oil overflows, then we need a pump, otherwise the top-up valve doesn't work properly, does it? No, yeah, this will work. It's top-up into overflow that doesn't work properly. So then we'll top up this with the spare oil from this whole oil sand system. But then our primary input will just be a pump from... I'm out of engines. That's fine. Will just be a pump from the main system. And there we go. So now we've got essentially free oil from oil sand. And I think it's all running properly now. Actually got plenty of benzene in the system, which is good. Our steam is backed up, so I'm going to disconnect from power. And our power satisfaction is not right. What's going on? Oh, this top-up valve is keeping this from being connected. We'll do it this way. There we go. We're still slightly short. I guess I didn't factor in the power needs of the oil sand extractors. Those take more power than I thought they would. So what we'll do is we'll add in 2 more steam engines, which I think should, yep, just barely be enough. I might actually need 3. We'll do 3. And then we'll have 1 more composting plant. And that should help. Just to make sure we have enough. Oh no, not enough ingredients. Gosh dang it. We were so close. We were so close. Okay, well we will need to go grab those real quick, because I do want to finish this out. And then we'll have another... So we'll just move that up 1. Connect these. And then that should work. Okay. Yeah, so then our aromatics should be able to power up all of our steam engines. But let me go run and grab the ingredients I need real quick for whatever it was the compost plant was missing. And then we can move on to making Korlexs. So thank you guys for entertaining my little pet project. Kind of a fun detour for me, at least. All the AlienLife stuff kind of gets a little overcomplicated sometimes, and I just want a normal feeling project. Also, there's something really satisfying about making kind of the from nothing builds. Though in this case it's not technically from nothing, we do require the oil sand. It's pretty cool that it produces 100 oil per second from just about 4 oil sand and 0 power. And now that I've got this set up, it makes me a lot more willing to essentially use... Gosh, there's a lot of bots bringing me things. It makes me a lot more willing to use crude oil products and just use crude oil kind of willy-nilly, because it's like, well, now I basically get 100 crude oil per second for free, and we've got like 100 million of it, so I'm not too worried about using 100 million crude oil anytime soon. Alright, so I'll just build this last compost plant, and this whole thing should be good to go. Except I gotta move that guy 1 square. There we go. And power's still a little bit iffy. We'll do 1 more of these. Watch that for a second. That seems like it's doing okay. I should probably arrange these sideways. I think I need 2 more. Yeah. And we can go sideways like this. Take out all the coke. So it's just running on biomass. And we'll probably have to check on this in like 20 or 30 minutes to make sure it's all still running. But I think everything's good to go. Guess we'll find out later, but... Well, that was fun. Okay. On to Korlexs. Now that we've got infinite oil, basically. Oh, and now that I have more resources, I can build the pumps I wanted to build here. Let's see. We want to power these off the main network. Yeah, okay. There we go. Alright, that should do it. So we've got essentially 200 per second of crude oil because of the 100 per second we're already pumping over here. And we've got 3.7 million of that left, and then we'll have about 100 million left of the oil sand crude oil. Alright, so back to Korlexs. Which... We got our cobalt fluoride all set up, and then we got our guts and albumin set up. And I kind of pre-set up a couple of requester chests for the things we need for Decolen, fetal serum, and Flutec PP6, I think is the official title. So we'll build those buildings real quick. So I think we need a chemical plant for Decolen. What's it called? Decalin? Yeah. So chemical plant with these resources, aromatics, and hydrogen. And so aromatics we've got coming in here. And then we'll just need to make hydrogen in an electrolyzer with some water. And then we'll vent the oxygen. I'm going to start with one chemical plant. Let's see what that rate looks like. So Decolen, hook those up. Let's see. I guess we want it to be hooked up like that. 5 per second. Opening up the wrong things here. 5 per second would mean we'd get 5 per second Flutec PP6, which means we get 5 per second artificial blood, which I think is fine because I only need these to make initial things. There's only a couple recipes in the game so far that I've looked at that actually require artificial blood kind of on a constant level, and then we won't need that until Pi Science packs, I think. Oof. Which it kind of looks like once we get cotton guts going, we actually will be kind of close to automating Pi Science, at least. Maybe not quickly, but we'll at least have it automated. Alright, so we will get the Decolen going. And then the Decolen is used in cytostatics, which I will need later. I don't think I need cytostatics yet. Yeah, don't need those yet, so we're not going to worry about it. But we do need the Flutec PP6, which needs the cobalt fluoride. And that's made in a biofactory, which I believe I already crafted. Right there. Okay, so we will import the cobalt fluoride in this region. Cobalt fluoride Let's just do 15. Making artificial blood. Wait, that's the wrong thing. Flutech PP6 is what we're making. And the Decalin and the cobalt fluoride will go in. And then we get Flutech PP6. And then we need another biofactory, which uses the Flutech PP6 and albumin, which I'll also put in this one to make artificial blood. So we'll request that. 50 is fine. I don't know how much we need. And then we will barrel up the artificial blood and call it a day. So we need Quester chest up here, empty barrel. We'll do 20 because I'm not going to need a lot of barrels of this. Provider chest with a filter and a circuit. And this will say artificial blood barrel is less than 20. Yeah, that's 1,000. Artificial blood barrel. Okay. And then we need to request... Or no, we got that. Flutech PP... Oh, we just need to hook that up. There we go, artificial blood. And then this needs to barrel artificial... fill artificial blood barrel. Sweet. Okay, we've got our first barrels of artificial blood. And then we'll set up our fetal serum, which also needs a biofactory, up in this corner, along with another barreling plant. We want one more space. This is all just solids, thankfully. So this needs to be fetal serum blood barrel. Or I mean, fetal serum barrel. Really wonderful sounding things in this game. Alright, and then we do the same idea. We'll do a requester chest right here. Empty barrel. 20. Provider chest. Filter inserter. And then we'll slow down the update rates on all these, make sure they're once every 10 seconds. Save on UPS. And then fetal serum barrel. We need to connect you to the net. Well, not the network, but the logistics. Fetal serum barrel is less than 20. Alright, there we go. So those are automated. And now I already set up 2 unbarrelers for those, which, in all honesty, this is pretty close. I probably could just pipe it over. But I'd rather have it in barrels kind of for future proofing. So we need unbarreling, which is somewhere in this blueprint. And then we want to hook this up. And that all connects back to here, which we've already prepared. Our first Korlexs. We've got some fish. We've got the cow DNA samples that we need. We've got Korlex, Codex. And I think I have enough samples to make, let's see, 15 plus 7 is 22. So I need 2 more cow DNA samples. Okay. So 2 more muck moo. codexes, and then a bunch more Korlexs. 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I had gotten the right amount, but I guess I was a couple short. And then we will request some barrels of each of those. And we can hopefully see our first Korlexs being made. Here we go, there it is. Of course, it's a 350-second crafting time, so they're not going to be made very quickly, but nonetheless, we are making Korlexs. And we should get 6 out of this, so I'll have those put into a chest. And then that lets us have a moment to set up our Easy Squeeze Ranch, which is a hilarious name, because we want Korlex milk. So we are going to see what it looks like to automate some Korlex milk. Let's just start with 50 per second. That might be a lot, but the recipe we're probably going to use is Korlex food. Making those Bodos things is not easy. Korlex food is not super easy either, though. I'm trying to remember, what do I need Korlex milk for? Is it the good alien sample? Yes, it is. Okay, we just actually need the milk for the sample. And that's what makes us our first aloe yotoi plants. That's what makes us our first Bodos plants. So we can't even make Bodos plants yet. So I couldn't use that recipe if I wanted to. Korlex food does require meat, kickalc seeds, which I already have, and fish. So we might need to automate fish just for the Korlex food. We might do that in the next episode. And then empty milk barrels are just steel plates, kind of like regular barrels. So we'll just make a bunch of those. Also, I'm noticing the amount of easy squeeze ranches we would need is 80. I don't think that is what we'll be doing. Oh my goodness. Oh, I have it on pause during Helmod right now. We don't want that. Eventually we'll get better recipes, it looks like. Like even just Korlex Milk 3, it looks like we just add ash. And that doubles our milk output. Unless I'm missing something. So there are definitely some better recipes down the line. Even just adding in fish then is gonna like quadruple it, so we'll have some better recipes once we get into higher tech levels. Unless there's one that I've missed. Korlex, yeah, it looks like the next one that allows you to use ash and fish to get 4 times the amount of milk will be in the Pi Science Tech tier. So we can wait until then. So we'll just make a small amount, maybe 5 per second, or maybe 3 per second. That seems more doable. And really all you need is water barrels and Korlex food. So we'll make Korlex food our own little chain, because we're going to want to automate it a little bit faster, maybe 0.5 or 0.4, something that'll fit in one building. So we'll need to automate fish. Man, fish goes slow. Is there a better fish recipe? Fish. Not yet. The one that requires fish food is actually at the Pi Science level. Interesting. And what even is in fish food? Would I even want to make it that way? Fish food is, holy cow, a lot of stuff. That doesn't feel like it would be worth it. But maybe I'm wrong. But using, well, I guess it's only 1 fish food to make 15 fish. So that would make 45 fish overall, but that feels like a lot of bones and lard and skin. Whereas this recipe only requires biomass, oxygen, saline water, which is all very easy. I don't know. Okay, so we'll work on that in the next episode. For now, let's just build a building to put the ranches in. And I think I will nest, because I have a feeling we'll probably end up needing a lot of these. So we'll connect those and connect these and then put the ranches in here. So how many can I fit? Looks like... I mean, I can fit 3. Huh. So I guess I can fit 6. Because I can have access to all 5 of these because of the beauty of diagonal inserters. Oh. That was a weird noise. And then I can build a 6th one, like in here or something. So, what do we actually need first? So I'm not going to be able to do anything until we have Korlex food. Can I at least make a few Korlex food? Alright, so let's set this up. Ready to go. Korlex food. Can I just manually go grab some of this stuff? It looks like we've already got some tin plates and fish. Salt, seaweed, mushrooms, kick-out seeds. I have all of that. The only thing I don't have is meat. Let's actually put a requester chest over here for it. So salt. We can get tin plates. We can get seaweed. I'll just go grab some from in here. Oh, we didn't have seaweed. We do have kick-out seeds, though. So I'll just... Oh, no, those are Ralasia seeds. Just kidding. I will grab the mushrooms, though. From in here. And where am I growing kick-out? I believe it's in my circuit board building. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so we'll take all these seeds. Which, all that's costing me is power, so it's not a big deal. We'll get rid of all the extra kick-out I just grabbed. Okay. And then I said I needed seaweed, which I know I'm growing in the rubber plantation. We'll take some of that. And then finally, we need some meat. So I'll just get a rendering plant to extract some Ulrich meat real quick. Because I don't need a ton, I just need enough to start reproducing Korlexs. Okay, so that'll grab me some meat. Let's go check and see if our Korlexs are done yet. Well, we've got one of them. Just about to be 2 of them. Nice, nice. Get to see what they look like. That'll be fun. That is one of my favorite parts of this Pyanodons experience, is getting to, like, start up a new AlienLife building, because they're just so cool looking. Alright, so the salt, we'll grab that, put that in. Oh, and then we need steam, which I can pretty easily do with a boiler. And then we just need to go grab that meat, which was in here. We got 36. Cool, cool. Alright, I don't want to give it all my tin, though. Alright, so we've got some Korlex food. We are going to need a filter. Putting Korlex food into a provider chest. Circuit condition. Korlex food is less than. I don't know, we'll do 1,000. Looks like we've got 2,000 for Ulrich food, but that should be fine. Okay, so let me grab some more of this meat. Put that in here. We'll automate that properly at another date. So for now, this will be our Korlex milk. You know, it's weird. Where's the symbol? It's not showing me. I want the Korlex milk, like, bottle thing. It's not showing me this one. I want that symbol. The filled milk barrel. Okay, so first we want to reproduce some Korlexs, which is this recipe. And we are going to need cages and water barrels. So we will need to do some water barreling inside this plant. Water barrel. Perfect, okay. And then we'll have kind of a closed loop that goes around. And then that will provide water barrels. We'll figure all the rest of that out in a second. We need to go grab some cages, some barrels. And we'll just get the first of these automated, and then I think we'll call it an episode, since this one's getting pretty long. But in the next episode, we'll work on automating the Korlex food properly, automating the Korlexs themselves properly, and then finally automating the milk. And then I think once we have that done, we actually can get our first good alien sample. You'll also notice I researched some more inventory space, so we have a lot of inventory space now, which is nice. And I did a couple more random green science researches that just needed to get done. Okay, so we'll put these into there, so we can barrel up some water. And then we'll put our cages in, and then our Korlex food, and then we'll put one Korlex into each. There they are. They're like little ice cows. That's awesome. They have a nice little snow builder, snow maker. So I guess that's why they require so many water barrels, is because it makes snow and ice for them, which is kind of fun. And the crafting speed is very slow right now, so 140 seconds times over 10. These are going to take a long time, needless to say. So we'll have a filter on the right for water barrel. There's a lot of different kinds of water. Wastewater, saline water, critical water, pressurized water, heavy water. I like the noises they make. They're kind of like whales almost. And this will be Korlex out of a cage. So that will uncage them by default. And it looks like each Korlex food gives us an 80% chance to get a Korlex back. So how much food do I have? We've got 2 more. That's it. Looks like we need more mushrooms is actually what we're short on. Okay. We actually have mushrooms in the system, don't we? Fawoge. Yes, we do. We have 3,000 stored up in the system. So we'll grab the rest of the meat, we'll put the cages back in the system. It looks like I haven't run out of Ulrichs yet, which is actually kind of surprising. I assumed I was going to run out pretty fast. Alright, so then we'll just grab the mushrooms from here. I guess I could, you know, be reasonable and have this one at least giving it the resources that are in the chest. The meat and the seeds and the seaweed we haven't provided yet, and technically this is limited because we need to request fuel for it. And fish. We haven't done anything with fish. But yeah, that should get us some more food here. Jump back into our easy squeeze ranch. And now we have quite a bit more food. Sweet, so these are going to need a run for a very long time, but we did automate 6 Korlexs for a reason. So we've still got 2 more on the way, and that should at least speed this process up. Well, I guess actually almost twice as fast. So that's good. But I'll probably let the game run for like 20 more minutes or 30 more minutes after the video, just so that this is at least a little bit more settled in by the time we come back for the next video. Anyway, this has been a long episode, probably because of all that oil sand stuff, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all next time.